Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scribo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Tarot-scopes. That will be the Tarot-scopes for the sign of Gemini for the month of May 2023. That's Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, or Gemini Rising. And before we get to the reading, I'm going to look at a little astrology, as I've been known to do. Of course, May is the month when the sun moves into your sign. That occurs on let's see, May 21st. The sun moves into Gemini, and there's a lot of stuff going on. When it moves into Gemini, it immediately trines Pluto. So that's very powerful for all Geminis, especially if you happen to be at the very, very beginning of Gemini. Okay, hold on one second. Just trying to, sorry guys, just trying to get this to focus. Anyway, we'll deal with it, right? It's apropos because as the month begins, your planet, your ruling planet, Mercury, is retrograde. It is retrograde until the 14th, when it turns direct in Taurus. So this whole retrograde has been in Taurus. It's been retrograde since the end of April. And it is going to be moving through from the fifth degree of Taurus, I believe, to the 15th degree of Taurus. So it's going backwards. At the middle of the month, it turns direct, and then it goes forward. And it's not actually out of its shadow until the beginning of June, but just a few days into June. What else is going on for you? So we have Pluto stationing at 1 degree of Aquarius. That's happening on the first day of the month. We have a couple of planetary changes. We have changes in direction. That's Pluto going retrograde on the first of the month, and Mercury going direct on the 14th of the month. We also have some sign changes. We have Venus moving from your sign, Gemini, into Cancer. So Venus moves into your second house. So security around money and stuff become an issue. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. We also have Mars move into Leo. Mars has been struggling as it had a 7-month period in Gemini, some of that time retrograde. When it finally got out of Gemini, it went into Cancer. Not that happy in Cancer, but it's still not Gemini after 7 months of Gemini. And now this month it moves into Leo, which is much happier to be in. Unfortunately, as soon as it moves into Leo, it opposes Pluto. So we have a Pluto Pluto opposition to Mars in Aquarius, Leo. That is the axis of love, the love of humanity, and a more personal Leo side love. So we're going to get a real view of what needs to be looked at. At the same time, right around that time, we have Jupiter moving into Taurus. So we have a grand square in the sky fixed with the nodes of the moon, south node being in Capricorn. The south node being in Scorpio, the north node being in Taurus. We are going to have Jupiter there on the north node in Taurus. We're going to have Pluto squaring it at the bends, and the resolution node is still the south node in Aquarius. And so we have a big square happening in the middle of December, right around the 3rd week of December, that all of this happens. We also have the sun make a conjunction to Uranus in the 2nd week. That is in Taurus. And for you guys, that is your to your 12th house. So you may actually have some sort of out of nowhere illumination around something from the past, maybe a karmic situation, or maybe you'll have a dead relative contact you some way. Let's see what else I want to talk about. We do have a full moon lunar eclipse on the 5th. A lot happening this month. You'd think that would be the first thing I talked, or at least the second thing I talked about, but it wasn't. That is occurring. Let's see, what's the degree? At the 15th degree, I think. So we have the sun at 15 of Taurus. We have the moon at 15 of Scorpio. Those are world points. And so not only is it affecting all of us individually, but it's also hitting the world point. So the world gets shifted and changed through this. And of course, it's eclipse season, so that's going to happen anyway, but it's pretty powerful. And then with all the shifting energy of Jupiter and Mars and Pluto and the nodes. So we're coming to a evolutionary crossroads. I said crosswords, didn't I? Crossroads. We also have a new moon on the 19th at 29 degrees of Taurus. That is on Caput Algol, lose your head. So heads will roll. Heads are going to roll. More heads are going to roll, because as I'm doing this, we just found out 2 media personalities have lost their jobs, one of which I'm non-pulsed about, and one that I'm pretty happy about. We'll just keep that personally to me. We don't have to talk about that. All right, what else is going on? And then, of course, the sun moves into your sign. I said that, and it does trine Pluto, which is a nice boost for you, Gemini. So I am going to first look at, I'm going to do an oracle card. I've been using the same oracle deck for all the signs this month as I did last month. Last month, I used my star seed. And this month, in honor of spring and my garden growing and everything turning green, I'm going to use the Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle by Lisa Estabrook. Lisa Estabrook. Beautiful cards, beautiful deck, lots of really good information. So we're going to do one special just for you, just for you, just for you, just for me. I don't have Gemini, so this one doesn't apply to me. And of course, as always, this could apply to the ex-president and his lawyer, I was going to say the governor of the U.S., the mayor, crazy old mayor. Who else is a Gemini? Xi Jinping is a Gemini, I believe. A lot of leaders with Gemini energy. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. All right, almost there, almost there. Oh, what are we seeing for Gemini? Choices of always moving through the portal. That's that right there. My Gemini. Gemini painting. Okay. All right. Letters. Letters. I see letters. Information. Maybe you'll find a letter that you know how when you get an important letter and then you stick it in a drawer because you don't want to lose it, but then you forget like years later that it's there, and you open the drawer and you're like, what's this? And you pick up the letter, and maybe something like that. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Purple Poppy, Evolution. Evolution. What a beautiful card. I love poppies. I'm not sure I've ever seen a purple poppy. Have I? Let's see what it says. Purple. I'll hold it up. Such a pretty card. But let me find I can't do 2 things at once. One thing at a time, please. Multitasking is not my thing. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Purple Poppy helps align your physical self with your soul purpose and your higher self. When your foundations are rocking and your entire being is evolving, Purple poppy helps to support deep levels of integration, connection, and rest. Wherever you land, she will help you adapt and find the beauty in the process. Of course, poppy, we get opium from poppies, right? And so that sort of relaxes you and puts you into a different sort of state of consciousness. I'm not telling you to do any of the poppy stuff. I'm just mentioning that. Sometimes our lives have to be completely shaken up and changed and rearranged to really relocate us to the place where we are meant to be. When we are in the thick of this evolution of our very being and our lives, it is hard to remember that it is a transitory process. The process is a sacred part of the cycle of life, initiating opportunity for a personal growth and development. When we remain in one place, one state of being for too long, growth slows. We become comfortable with the familiar and change is not welcome, even when we know in our hearts that change is deeply needed. Purple poppy is here with a message about resilience and a radical reframing of your life's purpose. She wants you to know your purpose in life is simply to live, to grow, to be fully yourself as an expression of divine love, experiencing all that you are through the full embodiment of life. Our purpose is not necessarily attached to our professions. Instead, it is attached to our own highest good. Purple poppy wants us to recognize that the difficult times, all of the emotional triggers and physical challenges we experience are gifts. Unwelcome gifts, perhaps, but gifts all the same, without which we often cannot see or begin to understand the pathway towards authentic self-expression and the embodiment of love itself. Evolution. Let me tell you, folks, evolution ain't for sissies. One of my favorite quotes that I made up. Of course, it might offend some sissies out there, I guess. Or how many of us have been called sissies? I remember when I was a kid, like the worst thing you could have called me was a sissy. I would have beat you up for that because it kind of meant that you were sensitive and that you were crying. And I've spent my whole life being a sissy. Not so bad. Now that I actually have a sister that I know about, I can actually be an official sissy. That's what I call her, sissy, and she calls me sissy. All right, my sister Kathy. Does she have Gemini in her chart? I'm trying to think. I don't think so, actually. Wow, sissy. All right, let's see. What is it? Oh, wait, what am I seeing? Anything? The letter. You need to write a letter to yourself, or just write a letter. If there's things that you need to say, there's things you need to say to spirit that you weren't able to say to somebody when they were here. You can write a letter, put it on your altar, and maybe burn a little incense and send the messages that way. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Righty-dighty. Diddly-dighty. So there is some kerfuffle going on, 5 of Wands here. This is about sort of reaching. This is ambition. This is, fighting to get to the top, to grab the fire, or to hold the torch. So there's competition. Competition is not necessarily negative always. It does help us to think creatively in a way and sort of break out of our any sort of mindset that affects us to not actually reach up and do things. Let's see what's crossing that. The Emperor. So whereas the ambition is good, you need to form it into something that's going to have some power. Or is there somebody pitting you against your competitors to make you do things maybe that you would normally not do? Let's see what's underneath it all. Happiness. So the search for happiness, the search for meaning, for making your dreams come true. So I feel like it's not somebody manipulating you to do things, but the challenge with this is how to reach for what it is that you want in a way in which you're, in a way, going by the rules, not necessarily breaking them, but the rules that work to create and build and balance things. The rules are there for a reason, and you need to sort of follow them at this time. In the past, we have the Knight of Swords. This is jumping into a situation, perhaps out of an emergency, having to take actions from a place of crisis. Place of crisis. Let's see what's in the sky. Those who have been not on the right path will be called out. People who are stealing or not on the up and up or trying to get away with something are going to be called out. You're not going to get away with anything. Let's see, immediate future. Illumination, full and utter illumination. People are going to see you for who you are. Now, if you happen to be, like most of us, really good people, they'll see that. But if you happen to be, say, an ex-president who is, I don't know, used to getting away with all kinds of stuff, that is ending. Illumination. This is how you're seen by others. You are a star, my dear. You are a star, and you are on center stage, and you're burning down the house. She's burning down her microphone. Well, I guess this is not a microphone, but it could be a microphone. This is a victory card. So you are admired for your work. You are admired for your work. Hopes and fears. I'm sorry. Domestic situation. New messages coming in. New creativity. New actions. This is a lot of spirit. There's a lot of spirit here. Hopes and fears. Now we go. Oh, the Hanged Man. You want to be able to take action. You don't want to not be able to take action. You've spent your time hanging upside down, and it would be nice to get off of that, I think, and not to be delayed or held up. Your outcome, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you still need to nurture the roots of what you're creating. It's not time to, you're still in the process of making what it is that you're making. And we have the Magician here, which is about focused intention. So it's really important for you to focus your intention on what it is that you're growing. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the King of Swords. This can be legal, a judge. This can be a judge. This can be a police officer, somebody who holds the sword of justice, somebody with good judgment here. Good judgment. There we go. Very cute. There's the wise owl there, somebody who sees 360 degrees. We have a bat up there that's about rebirth, and we have the crow, which is a very, very smart bird. Very smart bird. A lot of birds here. Beautiful cards. I love these cards. These are like some of my favorites. Seven of Wands. This is about having the higher moral ground. It's about being protected by the purity of your energy. And hope. And hope. So it seems as though you're in the process of in a way, reinventing yourself. The past will be exposed. So if you have things to hide, you will see they will be uncovered. If you don't have things to hide, and you haven't done anything illegal or immoral. I don't think you have to worry about anything really. Just know that the truth is coming out, full illumination. You're working towards your goals. People already think you're a success, so you don't have to convince others. Maybe you just have to convince yourself. And we do have the process of evolution according to the Soulflower card. So you're doing good. You're doing good, unless you've been bad, and then you're going to be held accountable. But you know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you guys, honestly. You know who I'm talking about. I hate to mention the name because I feel it ruins the Gemini reading. So we'll just keep that to ourselves, even though I might have said it already. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that read. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps with the algorithm. I seem to be stuck. So anything you can do to help boost me up on that algorithm, whatever that means. And I really should learn what all this stuff means, shouldn't I? Let's see what else. Oh, if you'd like a reading with me, I do those, astrology, Kabbalah, numerology. If you want to know what that looks like, you can check out any of my reads on the famous people that I've done. I have a couple of things out, The Devil's in the Details, series on Trump and all the people who he sort of got him to the place where he was, or up to this point anyway. I also have a series on the Tennessee 3 you can check out. I have the Rising of the Feminine, and then I also have some earlier stuff from the Wayback Machine from the last presidential election, 2020 election. So there are people who've wanted me to do Marianne Williamson and the like. I've already actually done something for her back in 2020, but I will start doing some of the people who are running for presidency, just to get a look at their charts and stuff for you guys. So that will be coming. And I think that's all I want to say. So have yourself a wonderful month. It's going to be an intense month for all of us. Just keep on keeping on. You're on the right track. Stay in the light and shine your light. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you again. Oh, if you want to support me, I do have a Patreon page. And if you want the readings, as I said, you can look below. There is a link. So take care, everyone, and much love. Namaste.